Good morning. It's those dancing piggy banks. It means it's time for Mike Eppel. Good morning to you.
Hello. How you doing this morning?
I'm doing all right. Okay, where do we begin? Toronto topping a list. Do we want to be at the top of this list? Let's break it down.
Nope. No. We are ranked as the #1 city in the world for the potential for a housing bubble. Isn't that just lovely? From UBS Group of Switzerland. They come out with these fearless forecasts every year. And, of course, actually, Toronto's been up at the bubble list for years now. But they're saying because the Bank of Canada has increased interest rates as much as it has, this is going to be the straw that breaks the camel's back, so to speak, for the city's real estate market. And look, Melanie, the price for housing has come down since the February peak. The thing about a housing bubble is, and we certainly saw this in 08-09 in the United States specifically, you kind of need supply. And that's what we don't have right now. Because at some point, we're going to see an equilibrium when interest rates stop going up. And the fact of the matter is we've got a lot of people coming into the country. We see a lot of people going into the rental market right now because the real estate market is somewhat tenuous, so they're waiting. And then eventually that's going to shift back. And unless you have all sorts of empty houses sitting around that we don't know about that are magically going to appear, then we're going to see stability. It's just a question of time, I suppose. Royal LePage in with their fall forecast and heading into 2023. That real estate company is also predicting, right now, trend on prices is down, but the problem is nobody's also selling. So there's a whole bunch of buyers waiting, and people who have a 90-day locked-in mortgage approval from their lender, they're looking to get into the market now. So it wouldn't be a surprise, actually, to start to see we're hearing actually some talk about some bidding wars in some pockets of the city. So it's kind of a weird market, but all of these fearless forecasts, we'll see where it goes. Longer term, or short term, I should say, prices are probably going to drift lower, but then again, find some sort of a bottom.
Okay, let's talk about this. A warning to Canadian governments when it comes to spending.
Yeah, don't spend your way out of a possible recession right now, because the problem with that is, and then look, the Ford government's latest budget, I mean, they managed to have a surplus of all things, which was a surprise. And then the feds are raking it in because of what energy prices have done this year. And the temptation is, let's spend this largesse and try to balance off inflation that consumers are dealing with. The problem is with that, it just fuels further inflation, which means interest rates continue to go up. And it's this vicious cycle that eventually leads to an economic drop. And we're already hearing talk about that because interest rates are still going to go up from current levels for 2023. If it's not going to be a recession, it's going to feel like one. That's a lot of the chatter this morning and of late from the global deep thinkers about the state of the economy going into the new year.
Mike, when it was released, maybe it was last week, the cost or the price tag of the RideCan app developing this thing, tens of millions of dollars, and people scratched their heads and went, what?
Yeah, because again, the old adage, you give a group of students at the University of Waterloo a case of Red Bull, and they could probably develop this thing in 2 days. Or any tech school, and that was kind of the $54 million to develop a RideCan, the app, and it went to a contractor in Ottawa that subcontracted it out to umpteen dozen other participants to develop this thing. Well, the opposition parties say that they're going to push for a vote next week to have a full-scale investigation into this. I mean, this is, again, tech experts are saying that development cost on a RideCan was outrageous, and then you get into the whole political implications of it. So they want to make some hay on this in committee, and that's going to be interesting to hear, again, more information about, I think, the development costs of that specific tech app.
Finally for you, Mike, I don't like playing the what-if game, but Monera's putting these scenarios out there when it comes to the Blue Jays. Should they have gone further in their playoff run? Let's look at the what-if spending.
Yeah, Monera said that in Game 1, the spending compared to a year ago, just around the downtown core, the restaurants and the bars, for the Blue Jays was up 60% from a year ago, and Game 2 on the Saturday was up 80%. So, yeah, if you look at a longer playoff run, then, of course, it would have been better for the local economy, Melanie. That, of course, was not the case. As it turned out, maybe the Leafs home opener tonight.
Maybe.
Huzzah.
You've got to put a maybe every time we talk about the Leafs. Just a little asterisk right there. Okay, the hope is real, Mike. We'll talk to you again
There you go.
tomorrow.